Hey everyone, how's it going? I hope you guys are good. Welcome back to my channel. Today's pick a card reading is going to be, what are people finally admitting about you? So my lovelies, what I would like you to do is take a look at these 3 images and go towards the image that you feel most intuitively drawn to. As always, my honeys, if you feel like you need more time, then pause this video. If you have chose your image, let's get straight into the tarot messages. And I hope you guys enjoy. As always, I want to thank you for being here and for your continued support. Hello there, pile one. How's it going? I hope you guys are good. If you guys chose this image, let's get into your reading. I hope that these messages will help you and resonate with you, all right, my honey? So let's get into it. What are people finally admitting about you? Pile one. The 6 of Pentacles. The Magician in the reverse. Judgment. The Hierophant. Something spiritual going on here. And it's really giving like warfare for some of you. Magician in the reverse. There's abuse of power in this reading. There's someone in your energy. I don't know if this is a father figure or someone that you see as wise. This person may work in an institution, may have qualifications, degrees, but there's just something about this person that expects you to come to them and they make a decision on your own life, or that's what they thought. I do feel like this is someone who does abuse their power only because of that Magician in the reverse, where they have a way to act or sway people's mind based on, like I said, they're wise, they're older, they have experiences, or whatever they do for a career. And I feel like that was working for a while because you were providing something to this person. Now, whole time, this person needed you more than you needed them. But I feel like at the time, you didn't see your own power, because the Magician in reverse, it can talk about lies, trickery, abuse of power. Definitely abuse of power in this reading. What the hell? Anyway, it also does talk about you feeling like you don't have the tools, the abilities to create and manifest for yourself. And I feel like the reason why you didn't think that you could is because of the counsel you was receiving. But also for some of you, it could be your old limiting beliefs that were restricting you. It's like you were stuck in this box, but then you had to accept with that judgment that you are different. And so every time you were wanting to step outside that box, there was fear, I'm hearing, or overall there was someone in your energy that made you feel like you had to stay restricted. Someone had a way of persuading you to make you feel like the grass isn't greener, to stay put and not to receive more, when really in fact you were receiving less. And so what this person or people are admitting is that the time has come where you have been awakened to that. The divine has got your attention and you're making a decision based on them. They may feel like you're calling judgment on them, where you're judging them for all the counsel that they gave you at the time. You know, this is someone that could have blocked your path through a period of 6 years. You know, 6 years is a long time. And meanwhile, you're just giving and giving more. And I don't like that. You know, someone had the ability to sway you in the right direction and they chose to abuse their power. And so this is someone who is seen as that you are being awakened to that. You are no longer making decisions like you used to of the past. They see your energy shifting, right? And as they see this huge shift, this is where I feel like the manipulation is becoming more heightened. But as they are trying to bring in more manipulative tactics, they are sensing that it's making you feel more comfortable and more confident in your decision making, that you won't change. And you definitely won't, not with that judgment there. You had to clear out some form of karma, part one. It could even be like past lives. Yeah, 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 yeah. Let's continue. Eight of Cups. What's this Magician in the reverse? Queen of Pentacles. This could be a woman in your energy that was doing this. If it's a man in feminine energy. A Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Period. Eight of Swords in the reverse. What's this Hierophant? The Emperor. Oh, this is a powerful reading, guys. I like this. I don't know if I'm talking to a parent in this reading. Strong masculine. So if you're not a man, I'm talking to a female who is switching it up, changing it up, and feeling very comfortable in their masculine energy. You're more in control. That's what people are finally admitting. I mean, I do feel like they have tried to persuade you, but I feel like they have this mental clarity with that Eight of Cups now, that there's just something about you slowly detaching. I don't feel like it's an overnight thing, like with that King of Swords. Okay, boom, I'm gonna make my decision, I'm gone, I'm bouncing. No, I feel like it's been a gradual thing, possibly even something mental and spiritual. And I'm only saying that because of the Eight of Swords is in the reverse. There's a point of where all this counsel or these values that you had in place was restricting you in a box, right? But it was just creating more fear. It's like someone wanting to impose fear on you to make you think that you couldn't take control, that you couldn't stand on business. Part one, I really want you to take away from this reading, okay, that, I mean, you see it now, right? But I can't shift off this energy of where someone actually saw your potential and felt your energy was a threat, and so possibly had a way of saying things to get you in your head to make you think negatively of yourself or your decision making. Someone is admitting that you are now trusting your own judgment. There's a gift of discernment here. I don't know if you read a lot. I'm talking to someone who may read a lot. Yeah. Thank you, Spirit. Definitely. Someone who's well educated. It's interesting because I feel like you are, you know, we're not bloody perfect. We're going to have strengths and weaknesses, which is very interesting for me to say that, because I feel like one of your strengths is via talking, reading, very intellectual. But I feel like what you needed to brush up on more was more spiritual. And there's someone in this reading that has used that as an advantage to play in your energy, which you've now latched on. But yeah, you've leveled up from page into king. That's what people are finally admitting. You no longer question and talk to your own self. I don't know. I'm talking to someone who may have conversations in their head, and you know what they say, right? If you don't talk to yourself, you're crazy. So that could be someone in this reading where it's like you would question your own self, and it's like you got the truth already. It's like you would talk yourself out of it, or you would question your own truth or question your own judgments. Like, I see it, but is it though? And then this is where the divine comes in, like, yeah, it is. And you're like, no, it can't be. And it's like, really? Really? But you've broke free now. You've unlocked the shackles, which I really like for you guys. So overall, people are admitting that everything that they saw in you, you now see in yourself. But what comes out of this mental clarity is you're very guarded. You may have trust issues now, which, yeah, rightfully so. If you have someone in your life, you know, Queen of Pentacles, that's meant to be someone loyal. So I don't know if there's someone really close to home here that you thought, you know, they're practical, they're loyal, they have their ducks in the row, they're a nurturer. I don't know if you went to this person's home, they were a good host, you know. And then meanwhile, I feel like this is a lesson for you that you've learned that either A, how long you've known the person, it doesn't matter. It doesn't mean that they're loyal to you. You can know someone for 16 years and they have no loyalty to you. And then you can meet someone that you've known for 6 months and they're more loyal to you than you've known that person for how many years, you know. But also don't take things at face value because of how this person presents themselves. So again, there's a lot of things that you may be learning and researching on during this time, possibly researching more to do with spirituality, that's for some of you, or just overall learning things about yourself, seeing yourself differently, but others as well. There's a lot of learning, definitely with that judgment to the Hierophant. Spiritual lessons, absolutely. And as you are learning these spiritual lessons, this is where people are admitting that you are being more confident, more bold, you're getting things more in order, you're no longer feeling out of control. There's a restructure here. And then as you are standing more in your power, this is where they can feel it. Because like I said, there's someone in this reading who can pick up on your energy very well, and they can energetically feel each month that goes by, you're detaching. And so that cord is being broken, I'm hearing, which would make sense with that Eight of Swords in reverse. You're no longer binded to your own thoughts. And deception. There's deception in this reading. Yeah, period. Six of Swords. King of Wands in the reverse. Who do we have here? Virgo, Gemini. We have Taurus, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Aries, Leo so far. Yeah, I feel like something has broke your confidence, but you're going to be repairing that. I see you leveling up from King of Wands in the reverse to the Emperor, you know. King of Wands in the reverse is someone who doesn't take control. They don't take the lead. So as you're detaching and you're moving to a calming place, like I said, you are possibly discovering a lot of things within yourself and learning before you even take action. Or some of you are already in this Emperor energy. You take it as it resonates, you know, because everyone's on a different timeline. But tell me more about that King of Wands in the reverse, the Sun and the Ten of Swords. Heavy Leo in this reading. Your vision wasn't strong. You weren't believing in yourself. There's something to do with self-esteem for some of you, or confident issues, but this is just confirming what I said. You are someone who has always been someone of value. It's just that it was blocked, so you couldn't see things, which then links into you not believing in yourself and so forth. It's all connected, right? If your mind ain't right, how are you then going to take control? And how can you take control if you don't have a vision? And you're not going to have a vision if you don't believe in yourself and you're not confident in yourself. But with that Ten of Swords to the Sun, it's quite sad, you know, where it's like a bittersweet feeling where the more that you are going to a better place and your mind is healing, you then discover more things which could be quite painful, and you may feel betrayed. You may feel betrayed in a sense of why you didn't take control, why your vision was blocked. And there's something out of that enlightenment that there's a betrayal attached to it. People are admitting that you are finally stepping down. When it comes to what? The Lovers, yeah. It's something to do with a bond here. If anything, you're connecting with yourself, you're in alignment with yourself. Knight of Wands. If this hasn't happened already, someone may reach out to you. And they're going to discover that this connection is not going to be like it used to be, possibly linking into someone's going to pick up on your emotions that is shifting. It's like you're leaving a certain mindset, behavior pattern, an environment, whatever the case may be, to then opening up your heart to something else based on what you have been eliminated to. Tell me more about that Ace of Cups. Yeah, focusing on you, not being distracted. So there is something about your energy that is interesting, because how did we start off the reading, right? Using the Six of Pentacles, where I said that people needed you more than you needed them, but they tried to make it out that they were adding a lot of value into their life, your life, should I say, sorry. And that was the manipulative tactic in itself. Now your energy has shifted where it feels right within your heart space, where you are going to be either mastering a skill, paying attention to detail more. I feel like that's what it is as well. People are finally admitting that you're more clued on. Like, you'll look through every nook and cranny, but you're also focusing and maintaining something. What are you maintaining? Four of Wands. You're maintaining doing something different that feels right within your heart space when it comes to either something going on in your community, home life, or working on building on a empire, literally a foundation for yourself. I like this for you guys. I really like that, but I don't know. Something about you feeling like you've wasted time. That's for some of you. And if you feel like you have, I don't know, someone may feel a bit cheated in this reading, but just know that, you know, sometimes the divine will allow things, literally with that Hierophant, they will allow certain situations to come in our life in order for us to learn that lesson. And I know that sucks, right? But it's made you be redirected now. We have 2 8s here, so look up the angel number 88. But 8s are all about abundance, but it also is a karmic number, which I did mention about you having to clear out some form of karma. It just wasn't your time to hear the call. We all have our awakening when the divine says so, right? So that's another reason. So whilst you was on this karmic loop, well, you no longer are, right? This is where you are now being redirected and you're creating abundance for yourself. So that's what people want to admit, that you're making progress. You're making progress, or you're going to. Like, you're actively maintaining and putting in the work into yourself, spiritual growth, financial, even everything. It's like starting at ground zero, and it's like nothing or no one is going to stop me this time. I'm hearing. Tell me more. Yeah, Page, thank you. Starting at ground zero. 2 of Cups. I don't know if you've entered in a new partnership or that's to come. I feel like you're going to really like. Some of you, I'm really getting a job. As for some of you, you may make a friend there, someone that you're going to have a lot of things in common with. This person could be younger than you, or someone who's very loyal. What did I say? You can't make this up. Thank you, Spirit. So you're going to notice that someone that you're going to know. How long are you going to know this person? I would say it's going to be quite early on, you know. Within a year, you're going to realize that, oh my gosh, I'm connecting to someone that I've known for a short duration, but I feel like I've known them all my life. I feel like it's a friendship, though. I really do. I like that for you, based on what you've had in your energy prior. It's like the divine is blessing you with a true mutual feeling, a partnership, someone that's going to have your back. But also, because the divine will always reward those who put in the work. You're putting in a lot of effort. People are admitting that you are leveling up financially, emotionally, spiritually, everything. And out of all that hard work, it's paying off, or it's going to. So I want to say, continue with the work. Continue to focus on healing. Definitely with that Ace of Cups there. Also, remember the gift of time, okay? Be patient in between. Give yourself grace because there's a lot of things that you have unraveled and discovered that you still need to work on. And then, plus, you're trying to open up a new doorway as well. So there's a lot of things that has been going on in your energy, and I do see eventually that you are going to get to your happy place. Okay, some of you, this could be next year Leo season where you'll see a lot of things improving for you as well, or 2028. I'm really getting that. Something about within the next 3 years. 2028 is going to be significant for you. Okay. All right, honey. So that's what I have. Leo, Taurus, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Virgo, Gemini, a lot of fire, Aries, Leo, Sag, a lot of Earth, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Gemini, Aries, Leo. Yeah, that's it. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. All right, honeys, all the best. Bye bye. Hello there, pal two. How's it going? I hope you guys are good. If you guys chose this image, let's get into a reading. I hope that these messages will help you and give you insight and clarity. My lovely pal twos, what's going on? Queen of Swords, hey? What are people finally admitting about you? Some of you may have Libra, Gemini in your chart. Very wise old soul, I'm hearing. Knight of Wands. I feel like your energy is very misunderstood because your actions say one thing, but then how you express yourself, it's in a different way. You could get misjudged a lot, pal two. You stir a lot of confusing feelings within people. It's like a double-edged sword, especially how you express yourself. You can really get them excited and gas people up, but not by feeding illusion. It's in a sense of inspiring with your truth and your wisdom. But then also, these are people that may act because they're ego driven. And so when you speak on that part of their character, they don't like that. You're someone who gives constructive criticism. That's what people want to finally admit to you. And I want to make it clear, wants to finally admit, because they're going a bit batshit crazy. These are people that are quite impulsive. And once they take action, they don't tend to want to look back on that. But then here you come speaking on things and correcting, like, no, mate, that was inappropriate. You shouldn't have done that. You know, you're someone that I feel you're a really good friend. A really good friend, you know. You're not someone who is going to be enabling people's immature, clownish behavior. If you feel like something is wrong, you're going to speak on it. If you feel like it's right, you're going to speak on it either way. Like I said, it's a double-edged sword, right? I don't know if you know a fire sign in Aries, Leo, Sag. This person could be younger than you or really immature with their actions. How they act is really immature. 9 of Wands. Two of Wands. This is what I'm saying. It's something to do with people that have taken action way too quickly for themselves, but also towards you, where they're now wounded because of it. Oh, goodness gracious. Part two, you may get a bit frustrated with certain people that you meet in your walk of life. You know, I feel like for majority of you, your purpose could be that you are people's teacher. I mean, we learn from one another, right? Where we're each other's teacher. But I feel like it's more to give people the spiritual enlightenment so then they can be, you know, where they're so way off path, here comes your wisdom where you get them back on path, you know? And so you may feel a bit bummed out where it's like, okay, people always see me after the fact. Because there is someone in your energy who feels locked out. People are finally admitting that you are not someone who is going to knacker yourself out and persevere so then they can finally see their own light. It has got to a point because of your experiences that has led to wisdom, which you now have. You've learned to approach certain situations by logic and not from your heart space. But it's because of all the bullshit that you've gone through. So again, I don't know if this is this specific person that's put you through a lot of bullshit, or like I said, you are someone who tends to um, meet people where you then correct things for them and then they do the rest and then on their merrily way. But I feel like prior to you being in this Queen of Swords energy, you persevered a lot. You know, you was quite passionate of, I want you to see, you know, I want you to see your own light. I want you to see that you're putting yourself through absolute bullshit. You know, you're doing A, B, C, and D where it's like you can just do A and B. But they had to go through those many rounds in order for them to let things trickle in a 3D, their decision makings to be their consequences. And then it circles back to you, where you spoke on it many moons ago. It's too late because they're on the outside looking in and they're wounded. They've gone through the trenches when they didn't have to. They just listened to your wisdom. Oh my goodness gracious. Yeah. Strength. There's something to do with prideful individuals. This could be a Leo that done this, or you may have Leo in your chart, but people are admitting that you are someone who is very strong-willed. You do have spiritual strength, but because of the obstacles and challenges that you have been put through, yeah, the world, it's kind of like making people see that, you know, we all have different lessons and experiences. Our walk of life is different, right? But there's just something about your energy where it's like, okay, pile two has gone through a lot. You know, I don't know. These are people that tend to cry over their trauma as well. And it's like, okay, well, pile two's gone through trauma as well. And look where pile two is. You know, there's projections in this reading as well. So that's what people want to admit, that they have been projecting onto you, especially when you speak on things. You know, in that moment, these people had chips on their shoulders. They didn't want to hear jack shit. And so, rightfully so, you can't reason with people who always think that they're in the right. And then, okay, fuck around, find out. And they found out, right? But now they're at a place of understanding. It's making them see that, okay, I've got a long way to go now that I'm back on path. But then it's kind of like, they have you in the back of their mind and your words really stick with them. It's like, okay, I've got this. Because with the strength, you always have to have that inner strength, you know, to pull through because of the obstacles and the challenges. But they're not as strong-willed as you because they haven't gone through those further experiences. Yes, to a certain point with that Nine of Wands, you know, they're wounded. They're standing though. They're standing. But like I said, I feel like you are someone who has learned way earlier on. You haven't put yourself through so many situations. You've been tested, yes, but I don't feel like you are someone who has deliberately put yourself in situations where you know that you can make things more easier for yourself. I hope that makes sense. And so this person is currently going through obstacles and they are feeling quite weakened. Their confidence has been knocked down. But there's just something about the last thing that you said to these people or person where it's making them continue to pull through and find that inner strength. So I really do feel that what people want to admit is that you actually have a lot of impact on people's lives than you even realize. And it's something to do with how you express yourself. Yeah, the world, and we have the Nine of Cups. These are people that are closing out cycles to be more content in life. Emotionally, these are people that were constantly fighting within themselves, fighting their own happiness. They didn't feel like they were deserving of happiness. But it's interesting, when they came in your life, they possibly siphoned off your energy where they came across very indulgent. It's kind of like the people that came in your life, they had no energy because they didn't see their own light. So then coming into your life, you got a lot of energy, you know, and I don't know, it's kind of like meeting people where they're bloody broken people. But on the flip side for you, because those broken people came in your life, that led to discernment, wisdom, to be more clued on, to be true and honest with yourself. What part did I have to play so then I don't have to go through that experience again? And then that blocks out certain energies that potentially could make me feel depleted again. And so this is where, going off track here, I don't know, people have persevered to re-enter in your life and they're finally admitting, no, it's not going to happen. Definitely something to do with tough love here, because they may see you as someone who acts from a place, you know, Queen of Swords, her intellect and the things that she says in the moment, it will be questioned. People will side-eye her, like, you know, are you coming from a better place? Are you malicious? Are you lying? You know, so that's another thing. Things that you speak on, people won't believe you. They feel like you may be speaking on things, yes, because of your experiences, hence why you've got the knowledge and the wisdom and you're expressing yourself. But I don't know where that's going. How can I word this? I feel like people are admitting that when you express yourself initially, they didn't see it coming from a place of wisdom. And you know, the Queen of Swords is someone that you need on your side. She will back you up. You know, she doesn't take no prisoners, but she also will speak up for others. So there's something about you either speaking up for others or speaking up for yourself. I really do feel when you were speaking for others, they were seeing it as a place of where you were just coming from a very bitter place because of the experiences that you've gone through. So these could be people that are quite close to you that have known the experiences that you've gone through, you know. But I'm also getting the energy of where you're speaking up for yourself. This is a whole different energy here, that when you do express yourself, it does take people back where it's like, wow, I didn't even really know you was that intelligent. Like you had all this knowledge and this wisdom. And this is where it makes these people quite on guard. I feel like these are more of the people that have put themselves through the ringers where you've initially told them, listen, mate, this is what you need to do, or whatever the constructive criticism is about, they continued, right? Um, but also there's something about them being quite scared of you standing up for yourself. Like they know certain things that you speak on, okay, I'm not going to test your boundary, you know. I don't know, there's just something about someone that wants to approach you. I feel like they have already, but there's something to do with you being in this new energy, how you express yourself, where it's like, yeah, I don't really want to test that based on the intellect, yes, but also your demeanor. But then another energy of where someone has gone through a lot of rounds where they're now quite scared, or they were quite paranoid. Someone weren't trusting you, Parto. Someone was looking at you sideways, but also looking at you sideways again, because it's like, how did you know that? There's something about intuition here in this reading as well. There's certain parts of yourself that you keep concealed with that moon there. I don't know if you have Libra or Gemini moon or Mercury, I'm hearing in my head. And so I feel like people are admitting that when they were looking at you sideways and projecting, what they should have been doing was looking at that way. Because as you can see, right, she's looking at the Two of Wands, which is they should have been looking at their own decision making, their own actions. But now they're looking at the path that they need to go down. They're like, oh, flipping out, this is going to be even a longer one. I'm already wounded as it is. Well, you done it to yourself. I don't know, Party. That was a long explanation, wasn't it? Bloody hell, with only 4 cards. Let's keep going. What are people finally admitting about you, my honey? Nine of Pentacles. Virgo. Yeah. It's really giving, like, it takes a while, doesn't it, guys, with that temperance? Some of you may have Saggy in your chart. Death. Six of Pentacles. Two of Cups. Yeah. There's something about your energy that people admit that when they've connected with you, they know it's genuine. So it's like these people are a bit full of contradictions then. I feel like they could be referring to when you used to operate from emotional intimacy rather than logic. It's like they miss the old version of you. They miss that reassurance I'm hearing. But I feel like when you was in that place, you was enabling where they weren't learning anything. It was just delaying their own path, to get on a straight and narrow. Look up the angel number 2 but twos are all about decisions, choices, partnerships. This is a whole different energy coming through. Pile 2, I feel like you are someone who, why do I keep bloody going back to that Queen of Swords? As and when you've gone through these experiences, as you have gone through these experiences, right, you have learned to be your true authentic self. This is who I am. I don't need no one to clap for me. If you were someone who was really focused on other people's opinions, not anymore. I feel like you have been focusing heavily on yourself and you have a better relationship with yourself. But as you were doing that, right, and you were going through changes, transforming, and I feel like what you were transforming on is it's okay to give back to me. You could be someone who is so used to giving, but the moment that someone gives back to you, don't know, it may make you feel uncomfortable. So there's a lot of things that you have been transforming on that you need to get comfortable with. And I really do feel like it's something pertaining to acceptance. With that temperance there's a lot of things that you have had to accept about yourself, who you are as an individual, confirmation with that bib in the background, but also what was your part to play at that point when you were giving to these people. Why is it that you found it hard to accept and to still persevere? Because 9 out of 10, right, when we take action towards things, well, it can be subconsciously, yes, but something's really telling me that you always consciously knew with that Queen of Swords. I'm hearing self-serving, so I don't know if that could be the case. I don't know where that's going, guys. There's something about you possibly, I mean, if you know you didn't feel this way, don't take on the energy. But I'm channeling basically the more that you would give kindness, generosity, patience to others, right? You were doing it from a place of where it made you feel good to see that people were either having a smile on their face, or they were fulfilled in life, or they got to that end goal. Because I'm just looking at that knight there with his hand up in the air. There's this sense of excitement, passion, this drive of knowing that these people were finally at peace. And I feel like you had to accept that that's not your job. You can only be responsible for yourself. And it's also not your job to fix people. So, as you've accepted that, what's happening? You're receiving, you're being rewarded. And as you're being rewarded, people are now finally coming to acceptance that your authenticity has paid off. Part of your transformation is going down a path that is taboo, possibly. It's unconventional, I'm hearing. but it actually makes people want to connect with you even more because you're different. These are people that have listened to others. I just had a really faint bib in the background, confirmation again. These are people, it could be old and even you, but I'm really getting old, right? As you have gone through this transformation, you've changed something about yourself, and it could be career, how you obtain money, or just overall you're being more outspoken. Like you're wearing your authenticity very well, right? And your intellect. I don't know if some of you have gone into education. That could be for someone in this reading. But anyway, these people have been dying, I'm hearing, to have a conversation with you, but they've been having conversations with other people about you to connect with you. And then the people that they're connecting with to talk about you, that, oh, I want to talk to part two, they've swayed this person's mind or people's mind, I don't know, where they've continued to block their own growth, for one, because they're still in the same partnerships, but also allowed other people's opinions of you, so then they don't connect with you. And I feel like it's something to do with people that, oh, pile two, this reading is got a lot of twists and turns. There is something to do with mirroring in this reading. I'm getting that strongly. There is something about your intellect and the way you carry yourself that people may see as a threat, especially one particular person. I'm getting a really specific energy here where, like I said, they've been wanting to connect with you, but there is someone that they're connected with, and I don't feel like it's a lover. I mean, you take it as it resonates. It could be a friend, a sibling, a family member, right? They're constantly giving, exchanging in some form of way, and I'm hearing due to codependencies. But then that person comes across like they're true, they're authentic, they're wise, and they're giving this person constructive criticism when really it's not. It's throwing them off path. And now divine's timing is taking place for that person. They're seeing it as that you were the one who was speaking the truth all along. You meant them well, but like I said, when you initially spoke, it came across like you were being bitter, because I feel like someone may have expressed that you were bitter, or I don't know. But now you have inspired this person to transform. So there could be a bit of disappointment with this person because, like I said, if they didn't listen to, they listened to someone who they thought was intelligent, more smarter than you, more wiser than you. So say for instance, if this person has been married and you haven't, or they have a lot of qualifications and you don't, and I feel like that's a lesson for that person. It doesn't matter. That don't mean nothing. Anyone can have a degree, but what is your heart saying? And so I really do feel like someone is seeing someone's true intentions here, who they were connecting with, but also your intentions that were always pure from the beginning. But it's too late. Like I said, you are people's lessons where it's like, it's too late. You latched on too late, boo boo. And so they are considering, they're at a crossroad in their life of, what do I do with this partnership now? Because I know that they ain't shit, and they didn't love me or care about me the way Pile 2 did. They just mirrored and mimicked Pile 2's energy to make me think that I should go down this path. Meanwhile, they just used me and wanted my energy or wanted something tangible. That's disgusting, but that's what it's telling me, guys. I'm going to close out this reading. Couple more. Tower. You shaking shit up. I feel like your energy is, where you're so truthful, it really, it shakens up the fakeness. People are finding, I mean, they can't fake the funk with you no more if they did. But also you are someone who has really helped them to realize and have these realizations of their own light, with that Queen of Wands there. There's something about your energy, it's very bold. You talk the talk and you walk the walk. It is even intimidating at times. So I feel like that's what people want to tell you, that sometimes they feel like they can't match up to you because of their own insecurities, and this is where the projections come in, or they just overall, I'm not going to bother because what's the point? So If you don't ask, you don't get, right? So that's a side note. What's that Queen of Wands about? Three of Pentacles. Yeah, there's definitely something about people admitting that it's okay to, I don't know, it's something like a Me Too movement, or you setting the trend. It's really giving that, like, what people weren't really digging and feeling in the beginning, they're locked in now. And it's something to do with independence, standing on your own, accepting who you are, accepting your gifts, your skills, your abilities. If people laugh, they laugh. If they gossip, they gossip. You know, because imagine living your whole life worrying about what people think, and that's what it's really giving. There's a lot of people in your energy that have operated that way. They've made their own decisions around other people and appearances and everything. It's like, okay, I've got to ask my mummy or my daddy, you know, is it okay if I can, you know, change my job? Or I don't know where that's going. I don't know where that's going. And it's like, come on, you're a grown ass man or woman. And I feel like you have helped someone to step more into their power and be more bold and confident in whatever they want to do, so then they can be more at peace within themselves and stop running from themselves. Okay, I feel like someone wants to thank you in this reading eventually, because I feel like everything's caught up with them, and so it's like that's what they're trying to work out right now. Really do feel like someone wants to connect with you and respect you more, because I feel like someone disrespected you when all along you was just trying to guide and help them. But I feel like, again, when they look your way, they see you as a tower, so they don't know how you're going to respond. There's something about your energy, it's very unpredictable as well. It's like, what's your next action is going to be? What are you going to say next? You know, that's what I have here, my honeys. So we have a lot of fire in this reading: Aries, Leo, Sag, Scorpio, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Mm, yeah, yeah. All right, honeys, that's what I have. All the best. Bye bye. Hello there, pal free. How's it going? I hope you guys are good. If you guys chose this image, let's get into a reading. I hope that you guys enjoy the messages, okay? Pal free. What are people finally admitting about you? Two of Pentacles. Ten of Pentacles. Pal free. Your energy is telling me that you are able to take on quite a lot and get things done and still get to that end goal. I don't know if you have a lot of interests and hobbies as well. That's a side note. I feel like you're quite versatile as well. Like, you don't just stick to one thing. But I am getting, when it comes to your material, your 3D wells, like, you may have quite a busy lifestyle, possibly pertaining to family, children, career. The Devil. You always have a way around things when you're feeling quite stuck. But no, I'm not going to be oppressed, or I'm not going to be trapped in this situation. I'm going to figure this out. And if it means that I have to take on more than I anticipated, then so be it. You know, you don't let fear get the better of you. You don't allow, I don't know, there's just something about a sticky energy. Like, I don't know, something to attach onto you, even though you may feel like it's restricting you in that moment. It's like, okay, let's work our way out of it then. I'm not remaining stuck to this. Absolutely not, you know. So I feel like people are admitting that your energy, one, can't be controlled. But then if things do get a bit too much, you know, you're being really realistic about the situation, especially if it's pertaining to other people that are depending on you. But like I said, you will always find an exit where these people either A, expected that, you know, it could be an advantage for them to be in control, or you wouldn't be able to reclaim your power back. You would remain bound to that situation. Um, it's like you, or this is how people perceived it, that they they thought that you would be more bound to a situation, a circumstance, more than they anticipated. Like it was meant to be for a longer duration. But I feel like it comes into play with that Two of Pentacles, where you juggled things around, and so this is where you have got to a more comfortable place, even though there is an energy of restriction at the same time. Or for some of you, that devil energy is no longer there, where you have been working your way out of it slowly but surely, whatever that means for you. Tell me more. The High Priestess, the Queen of Swords, and we have the Page of Wands. I'm hearing switching lanes in my head. You move in silence with it as well. Maybe because you know what that devil energy represents, that you have to be more discreet. Tell me more. The Star. Your energy is very inspiring, pile 3. You always find a silver lining out of a situation, and that's just confirming something that's meant to get you in a negative mindset, possibly obsessing over the situation, coming from a place of I don't know, the devil is really telling me that something could really make you act in a really not so positive way. It could affect, okay, let's put it this way, a temporary situation that people may feel it was going to be, like I said, it could affect you long term. If you would act on those negative feelings where you were feeling stuck and trapped in that moment, it would then have long term repercussions. I hope that makes sense. So it's kind of like you keep calm in the middle of a lot of chaos. I don't know if you have like a loud home. I don't know where that's going, whether it's a lot of children, but it's like, I know it's chaotic, but it's my chaos. I know that I have, I don't know if you have a lot of children, grandchildren, a big family, but it's like, it's my family. Or I know that I'm always running around like a headless chicken. I've got, go to take my kids to school, activities if you have children, or whether it's just yourself. You're going in another direction and you are initiating to sign up to courses, your passions, your desires. And then plus you've got a main hustle. Then you've got to, I don't know if you have to look after family members, or you're someone that's all about family. I don't know. There's just something about your energy is so many in different bloody places. Okay. And I feel like overall people are seeing that you have your like one foot in, one foot out. As you're wrapping something that has been in your energy for a while, you're opening another door, which they didn't expect, for one, because they were anticipating that you were going to remain stuck to that same situation that you're still trying to juggle out, okay? But then you're still able to remain positive, still have this new energy, raising your vibration, feeling inspired, still holding on to the hope, the faith, not lowering your vibration where you become negative and bound and stuck. It's like you don't let your circumstances own you. You listen to your intuition, you remain still in that moment. And if your intuition is telling you to move in silence, move in silence. When you have to speak on it or make a decision on it, act on it. 5 of Wands. So for some of you, there could be something quite combative around you. This is like external noise, rivalry, jealousy, competition. And it's interesting because what did I say about a lot of noise? So whether the noise is connected to you or it's outside of you, or that's something that you are dealing with at a distance. It's like background noise. I just put that on mute. Still doing what I'm doing. That's not distracting me. Mute. I don't know whether it's your inner critic where you get conflicted with you. Oh my God, I can feel myself bubbling up here, but I'm going to keep it calm. I'm not going to be bound and get triggered. That could be for some of you, or if it's actually a person where it's like, I'm not dealing with this. I'll manage it on my own and I'll continue to be in my light. I like that, guys. Really like that for you. Let's continue. What's this Five of Wands about? Seven of Cups. I can't shift off this energy to do with attachments here. Like, your energy is telling me that you possibly are someone that may get claustrophobic if you feel like an energy is too much. Like, how can I rephrase this? Your energy is telling me that if you don't like something, you're not going to stick around and commit to it. I'm not saying that you are someone who is wishy-washy, flippy-floppy. Like, you'll give it a go, but if there's a lot of low vibrational energy attached to it, if it is at the cost of your peace, I'm not saying in it. I'll take action straight away and I'll explore further options. I don't know, Palfrey. There's just something about your energy where you're very free, you're a free spirited soul, and I can't shift off that energy with that devil where it would work better if you were bound more. But that's not how your energy works. I don't know if you have witnessed a lot of people acting inappropriately based on your actions because they want you to be bound to things, whether it's their ideology, I'm hearing, or for you to be more responsive and interacting how they want you to. Really giving like a controlling energy here. Tell me more. Five of Pentacles. Yeah, you'll drop things and you won't feel no way about it. Five of Pentacles, Seven of Wands. Ace of period. So Palfrey, what are people finally admitting? There's something about a strong detached game here. You're not going back on your boundaries. Absolutely not. You have strong boundaries in place, but then you're someone who can give a lot of love, but you can also drop that. The same way you open up your heart to a situation or a person. I feel like it's both though. Like I said, if it feels right in that moment, you're going to open up your heart to it and you will put so much love and empathy into the situation or the person. But the moment things switch up and the fives comes in, which are changes that you did not anticipate and is unexpected, as fives are, right? You will either drop the situation, or if you still need to be bound to it for longer than you anticipated, you will make an exit. You will manage your way out of it slowly but surely. I don't know. So say for instance, if it's something material or a child or a job, it's like, okay, well, I can't just drop the job now. I see it for what it is, it's toxic, but I ain't staying here for 10, 20 years. And then I'm looking back on my legacy and I'm like, hold on. So I got to a place of comfortability, and what attached to it is a lot of chaos. It cost my peace, my mental health. No, I don't think so. I'm looking for another job where I can be more free and people will give me the chance to be more expressive, or I can be more creative and find that right environment. Or if it's something pertaining to a love matter, a friend, I don't know. It's like if it shows you in the beginning that they're healthy, but then later on down the line, oh gosh, Palfrey, it's really giving. You may find yourself, because pages are new, there's something about when you connect with new people, this is a whole different energy. They really cast some form of illusions that they're either healthy, they're love and light, or You know, they're on your page as well, but really they're actually quite low-key either having issues with jealousy or they're in competition with you. And it's like, bro, sis, what the hell's going on here? I came in this situation pure. I was down to love on you. You know, I didn't come with no strategies in place. I weren't coming from a place of being low vibe and toxic. But then it's like, now you want to show me that you're on demon time. It's like, okay, bet, gone. And they're like, what do you mean gone? The whole point was that I was meant to be Mr. or Mrs. Nighty in the beginning. You know, we were meant to express our love to each other, which we did. Then I was meant to switch it up, and then you was meant to latch onto that. And you're like, latch onto what? Latch onto what? No, I'm not. I don't. You're someone that I don't like drama. I'm not for the drama. Keep that away from me. There's certain things that give you the ick. That's what it is, Palfrey. People are understanding that what really gives you the ick, and it's like once you're turned off, you are turned off, and you are not turning back on. Absolutely not. And then they're just left in their own energies and angry. They're fantasizing and angry because you figured them out, you made an exit, like I said, or you didn't attach yourself to negativity, or you didn't allow a situation to knock your confidence. So many scenarios, guys. Take it as it resonates, okay? Oh my goodness gracious. Yeah. Thank you, Spirit. Knight of Swords, there's something about you will make the necessary changes quick with that Knight of Swords, and that's the truth. Everything I just said in this reading is the truth, and they have the mental clarity. They have the truth based on, but only when you make that change, which leaves them blindsided. Oh, wait, guys. Some of you may, who do we have here? So we have Aqua, we've got Capricorn, a lot of fire, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, Pisces, and I would say a little bit of Earth, not a lot though. Four of Swords. Well, well, well. There's something about people have to sit with their own decisions, or they can't correct things after that. Nope. They're just left with clarity, epiphanies, a breakthrough, and they got to leave it to rest, literally, with that Four of Swords. Leave it alone. Eight of Swords. Can you tell me more about this Knight of Swords? I'm very intrigued. Page of Swords. The Lovers, the Knight of Cups, the Ten of Wands, King of Swords. I don't know if people feel like they can have a way of trying to change your mind. It's really given that, like trying to sway you. But like I said, they do get the mental clarity eventually. Very quick decision maker. Getting that strongly with you guys. Very quick-witted as well. Very, you're able to maneuver through situations very quickly. Very, very quickly. I don't know if you asked, like you was very inquisitive as a child, possibly still are. Like you're always thinking, Palfrey. That's for someone. But anyway, what are people finally admitting? Well, we got the Five of Swords here. There's a sense of defeat. Again, King of Swords. There's something to do with detaching here, and then finding a place that's more suitable, an environment, a person, whatever the case may be, that is going to be more, you know, they're going to compromise with you. They are going to praise you, and it's going to work both ways. Or you're able to rebuild yourself after cutting out certain things. People don't really like that. Five of Swords, Five of Wands. So there's something to do with how people operate. They can operate from a place of wanting, very determined to win at all costs. But what are they really winning? Because now they're at a loss. it's like taking things too far, you know. And like I said, once they take it too far, because it's interesting, it's like this is what I'm saying, 𝓡𝓮𝓷𝓮𝓮. They're trying to win at all costs to talk to you again or for you to change your mind. But then how they go about it is really trying to get your attention in the worst way. And then when they do that, they're actually giving you the ick where it's like, you're just digging yourself a deeper hole, mate. I don't actually want to talk to you again now. At one point, I was sitting on it and you should have left me alone to just ponder a bit and think, yeah, should I revisit this situation? But then you make a further change where it's like, oh no, that's just confirmation for me. Everything that my intuition was telling me was the right thing to do. So I'm going to stick by that. You told on yourself. So, okay, thanks for letting me know. And then it's kind of like they end up with, you know, they're carrying a lot of burdens based on that. I really get like people really want to get their way with you. It's weird, but not in a healthy way. Not in a healthy way at all. These are like things that turn them on. It really shouldn't. Weird, guys. It's really weird. But you see that these people are weird, or the environments that you've been in is the energy's off. You know, energy don't lie, as they say, and it's like that's what people understand. Like you can read their energy. That's interesting because what did I say? Where's the Ace of Cups? I don't bloody know where it is now. But when I was showing you guys with the Ace of Cups, and I was like, you go into it, your heart is open. But as soon as you start seeing them red flags, oh, okay, I'm not being tied to this. Absolutely not. I will not be pressed. Six of Wands, you end up getting a victory. Six of Cups, and you're still at peace and stable. Period. Period. So what are people finally admitting that you've won, even though it's not, you know, I don't want it to sound petty, but these are people that are petty and act like a petulant child. It's like something to do with childish behavior here. Really getting that for some of you. Like you have interacted with a lot of folks, possibly in workplaces, romantically, even like friendships. You know, it's like they're not on your level. And I don't want, you know, I'm not out here to be boosting up people's egos. No, but it's really given like an audacity. Like, how dare you? You're a little page out here. What are you really bringing? You have no value, and then you've got a nerve to come in a 𝓡𝓮𝓷𝓮𝓮's energy, thinking, which is the illusion in itself, that you the shit when you ain't shit. So where's this going, guys? Maybe it's to do with your power, your inner power. You're very bold, where it's like, come down a notch, and then you're on my level, and then that will make me comfortable. These are people that don't want to do the work to rise up to meet you, so then it's easier for you to lower your vibration, lower your standards. Like, lower what? No, I don't think so. King of Pentacles, you're still holding on to your value. Queen of Cups, your intuition is not blocked if that's what they were trying to do. Your emotions are in sync if they were trying to make it out of sync. You are not crying, you are smiling. And we're going in stages here now, 5 to the 6 of Wands. So yeah, like I said, for some of you, if there was a circumstance that you had to remain in, but it's like, no, this is not going to be, this is not going to determine my future. I'm going to battle my way out of it. You did. What are you going to? There was a lot of conflict. You went through the battlefields, but you got there in the end. And that's the confusion in itself and the reality check that they have. And the clarity that they have to sit with. It may have taken a couple of years. Or how long for you to fight this energy off? I'm talking to a warrior in this reading, period. Period. And something about your energy is a fighter energy. I don't know, but that's what it's giving here, guys. Okay, so let's go through the signs. I went through the signs actually, didn't I? Yeah, I did. We got Gemini here as well. A lot of air, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, and fire, and a little bit of earth. All right, honey. So that's what I have. All the best and take care. Bye bye.